All right, what is up, YouTube? It's your boy Tonks back at you with a quick YouTube video. Just kind of wanted to go over my recent kind of Psyche video. I know a lot of people have posted these builds already before, but I kind of wanted to go over mine just because I've seen a lot of a lot of videos out there on Psyche, which obviously is pretty common now. She is very, very strong. Um, but not many of them have her kind of completely maxed out. Um, at least in a sense, I guess, generally speaking. And what I mean by that is just more with her demon wedges than anything else. That's kind of what I have maxed out right now. Finished her up yesterday. Um, and I know a lot of people have talked about, kind of how to build her, what to do, what is right, what is wrong. And within this game, I think it's a little bit interesting because there is, there is a right way to do things, but I think that the right way to do these things is generally kind of relative to the individual. And I know still a lot of testing being done. I know that unfortunately there are content creators that are doing a lot of testing, and I definitely appreciate them doing that because I don't want to do it. But at the same time, the content right now isn't crazy, crazy hard um, to make this like definitive answer as to what is good, what is bad. So this is kind of what I took from it, what I looked at, and kind of how I've built her. So just kind of wanted to quickly go over that with you guys. Now, obviously, as you can see here, I do have her Intron 6, got all the way maxed out. I don't really feel the need to go over, a bunch of these skills. It's not really like a big thing that I wanted to kind of cover within this video. Um, for those that are relatively new to the character, in my opinion, I think Intron 1, Intron 2 is pretty good, and then Intron 6 are kind of your big ones that you'll notice a relatively big difference or semi big difference when playing her. But I do have that done. As far as her weapons go, I have this smelted to 3, which, it helps. I don't think that, smelting the weapons are the end all be all. If you can do them easily, then go for it. This one right now, unfortunately, is not super easy to do, just because it's on weekly rotation. But, I'm probably going to kind of shelf that for now and wait until later, until it goes back into the regular rotation to do it with all the other characters and stuff going out. I've kind of started preparing more for that. Now, as far as her range weapon goes, I am mainly using Destructo, and then you have a couple different options that you can use. Obviously, Renhusk, I think, would be the other main option here. But for what I'm mainly doing for all of these things that I normally am playing, immersive theater, all those things, and just in general, I think range for her is definitely nice to have. And I fully smelted that, so I have 72% more range. So I think that is in my opinion what I'm gonna mainly be using, just because I don't notice a big damage loss when I take this off. I think her damage is pretty good without it. It's not really a big deal. But if you wanted to use that, you're more than welcome to do so. Um, Now, kind of going over the main thing that I'm wanted to kind of talk about in this video is her demon wedges. So pulling those up, I did finally get all of these to plus 10. And now this has kind of been a hot topic of debate here as of late. Again, I don't know if this is 100% right, 100% the best, anything like that. Take all these things with a grain of salt. I don't know. This for me right now is working really, really well. Um, I would say the main change that if I see anything in the future would probably basically be the prime resolve if and when I get this to plus 10. I'm kind of leaning more to taking out probably one of these blaze resolves. And again, I know a lot of people have talked about, 4 blaze volitions would be better than, all of these resolves, and then maybe do one of this and then another blaze volition. That's absolutely something that you can do. I think that there's that a lot of that could be warranted. I think it could give you a bigger damage bump for sure. Um, but for me right now, this is working well for me. This is kind of why I have all these adjusted so much because I've been testing and playing around with a kind of a lot of different things here just to kind of see what I like and what works. And I honestly, guys, I don't notice a massive difference with any of these things that I'm doing. So I've kind of just have stuck with this one for now. Like obviously you can take dual out if you're not doing like immersive theater or any like bossing or anything like that. You can absolutely take that out and maybe move that in here, move prime resolve into that spot if you want. I don't really notice like a big difference or a big need to do that right now. Um, but I do like a lot of these things, especially with Squall Wildfire. I kind of was going back and forth with this one and the other one, and the Midnight Sun. Again, I'm kind of becoming a little bit more biased towards range. I think it really helps her immensely in a lot of different activities, but especially the harder end game stuff, which isn't really that hard right now. But ultimately, this is kind of the stats that I've landed on at this moment in time. Okay. Like I said, it works really well for me. Works, when I can do any bit of content, anything. Obviously, this is pretty overkill. I'm not denying that at all. I don't know how many people are kind of at this spot. This was quite a bit of grinding. And it does feel good to be done with it, but I'm sure that, I'm going to post this video and somebody's going to say, oh, these resolves are stupid. You should do volition or you should do this, you should do that. And it's like, yeah, I don't deny that. I'm not saying that this is the end all be all best setup by any means. But it's working for me right now. I'm sure that, somebody down the line will find a better setup, or if there's new demon wedges coming out and everything else that's going on. I'm not sure what's coming out, but, that could be subject to change. All of these things are kind of, we're in a very still a very early state of the game. So I think that there's a lot of different things that could happen. There could be changes made, all of these things. But again, this is just kind of my generalized setup that I'm running right now with her. Again, with her being a more of a skill damage character, try to get that relatively high. Again, people are going to argue about the skill range. Totally fine. I like the skill range. You don't have to. You can totally use a different weapon. You can use different setups. Totally up to you. I'm just kind of showing you guys what I'm doing right now, and what it looks like. So that's kind of how she works with those things. Again, if you have any questions, please just leave them in the comments, or if you have any suggestions that might be better, I'd be willing to test some stuff out. Also, as far as her supports go. Obviously, Fina, this is pretty easy to look at here. Oh, and I forgot to mention, obviously, with her skills, like I have all those maxed out too. Obviously, you guys probably knew that already, but just want to show that really quick. Okay. With Fina, this is her main support. I have these two max. I'm not super worried about her damage really right now. Maybe I'll max it later. I don't know. I'm not super, need that right now. Introns, just have her up to Intron 2. Which I think is really good for her kind of out the rip. Okay, we'll probably work on her more later. But as far as she goes, whoops, look at her. Demon Wedges. Again, this is kind of just what I'm rocking right now. She obviously still needs quite a bit of work. This one specifically needs to be pushed a little bit more. The Prismatic Neon would probably be the next one that I would want to get to 10. And then maybe a Griffins. Or Griffins would probably need to get to 10 as well, which I've farmed all those and I've got them, as you can see, I've got 51 there, so that's not a big deal. I can get that eventually. And then with these Blaze Eternities, I think that this is probably the best setup for her right now, but again, I'm sure somebody has a better setup, has, a better suggestion. So whatever you guys are thinking, let me know. I'd be down to definitely give it a shot. But again, the next argument with her being the skill range, a lot of people say that the skill range is not necessary, and I don't disagree. I was doing a little bit more testing with this just based on kind of her debuff, as far as how that works with it working better with with skill range. But if you wanted to drop this down, and try to get her sanity up a little bit more, obviously that would be great. The more sanity this character has, the better off she's going to be. So that would be a big suggestion for her if this is what you're looking to do. I mean, that wings inspo is very important. Try to get that up as quick as you can. This one I just got lucky that I happened to farm that in the weekly, so I just made one really quick. And then trying to get her prismatic neon. Nirvana, I run usually with all of my supports going into, especially if I'm trying to push immersive theater, which is kind of what I'm trying to do right now, just to kind of build that up a little bit. I think I'm on like 61. I need to work on that more. But these are very helpful when you start getting in those late stage bosses and stuff like that. And then obviously Surge plus 10 is huge. So I think at least one of your supports should be running this at all times. I kind of put it on Fina because I think she's going to be running more on she's going to be to me on more teams than like Truffle and Filbert or maybe some of these other supports. I think Fina is gonna kind of have like a permanent slot for a lot of teams as it stands right now based on the meta. Okay. Um, Another thing, obviously her weapon that you're mainly using with her is obviously going to be this. This is kind of why I'm still trying to push immersive theater because I would like to smelt this one more time. I think that's going to be kind of important because that's a really good weapon for her, and it helps you out a lot. Obviously, just reading it helps with skill range. A little bit character deals bonus damage. There's a 30% chance to grant allies 10.8% attack, 15 seconds, up to 10 stacks. Like that's huge. When you're playing Psyche and you use her, when you use Fina with her, you will notice a pretty substantial damage bump. She helps a lot, a lot, a lot. So just some heads up there. But again, like I said, with the demon wedges, I'm open to suggestions. These are kind of just my early thoughts and attempts to try and get them as well rounded as I can. And then finally, the last one that I'm going to run is obviously Truffle and Filbert. She helps them a lot. I don't have her intront at all. I haven't worked on that really at all. For skills, I've gotten up a little bit. Could still push them a little bit more, which would be good. Still haven't put this buff one in because they keep saying the AI is super jacked up. So with skill duration and stuff like that, they're saying it's causing some issues. So I haven't really tested it or really noticed it that much, especially on Psyche, but apparently it's happening. So I'm just gonna leave it alone for a little while. Okay. Um, and then as far as her weapon goes, using this guy, kind of her normal weapon, and everybody's kind of familiar with that. She I think has a little bit more options as far as different weapons and stuff that you want to use, but I've just been using this one with her. I found it's been fine. It's working fine. Okay. And then finally just looking at her demon wedges. Haven't put a whole lot of work in with her, just kind of threw one of the Blaze Volitions in there that I've already leveled up. Wings Inspo, Nirvana, like I did with the last couple. These ones, I could probably make a Prime Serenity for her. I think I have the ability. I think I can make one. But then like these ones, this Turbulent Cyclone, I need to do this. Also, obviously I have 80 of them, so that needs to be crafted also. But I've been kind of trying to slow it down a little bit more just because of the new characters that are coming out. My game plan right now is I'm probably going to end up playing Zelio. I think she looks the most appealing to me. But maybe Kaizu. The other ones don't really look that appealing, other than, I mean, the new support that's coming out. I think she's going to be super good. But as far as like a main DPS character, those are the two that I think are looking the best to me. But I'll keep you guys updated. But again, that's kind of just the overall build I kind of wanted to go over with kind of what I'm doing. Apologies, I'm kind of all over the place. I am not a YouTuber. I'm not a content creator at all. I've just been seeing a lot of Psyche videos that haven't been super maxed out yet, so I just kind of wanted to post mine and just see what you guys think. I'm absolutely open for suggestions. If you think, if you're trying something else and you think it's giving better results, just let me know. I'm definitely down to try. I know my build is not the end all be all by any means. Just some stuff that I've been trying and been fortunate enough to kind of grind and have the time to grind and get the stuff up. But last thing I guess I'll show you just the other demon wedge that I have for her weapon. I try to max this one quickly just to help with the maneuverability. That's really the only. I mean, it's nice that her main weapon is a scythe, but obviously being able to move quicker and do things around, really none of these really matter that much except for piercing ascent. Swift drop shot I think is good, and then these two, celerity, swift momentum. The other ones are kind of like just whatever, right? Same thing with these. Like, okay, cool. I've gotten a couple of these up, but it really doesn't matter. Like she's not really using weapons, to do anything. Obviously, her constant weapon. You guys probably already know this. Like this is what I'm running. Need to keep trying to push that up, but obviously they're not available currently. So once they do become available, I'll probably just go ahead and push those up and just see what we can do with her. Okay. As always, I don't really feel like I need to do a shit ton of like, gameplay footage, I guess. I don't know if you guys want to see, um, one of my immersive theaters. This one I screwed up last night. I was tired and I freaking got myself killed. So that was, yeah, great build, right? But just show like around just to kind of show you guys what I'm doing. But and most of you probably already know how to play her at this point. Like it's not really, anything crazy. She's just a freaking machine gun. It's just nice to have her. And as you can see, like a lot of people have said like they didn't like her in Tron 2, I believe it was. They were saying it was causing issues and stuff. Like, and I get that, but usually that means that you're not doing enough damage. If it's bouncing the characters all over the place and you're, unable to kill them quickly, that's, pretty much because your character's not doing quite enough damage currently. Okay. But, again, it's just pretty sure these guys are the max level. I think it's 180 is the max in immersive theater right now. I don't think it goes any higher than that. So I can give you an idea, what you're looking at here. But again, most of you guys at this point pretty much already know how to play her, how to do everything. I really wasn't super concerned with showing you guys combat. Like that to me is kind of whatever. Like most of you know what the heck you're doing. Okay. I just wanted to kind of show what I was looking at as far as what I'm currently running, what I'm working on, what I'm doing. Again, if anybody has any questions or any suggestions, by all means. Like I said, I'm not a content creator by any means. I'm not a YouTuber by any means. So sorry for the choppy video, and I'm not really a super creative person by any means. So just been trying to kind of get this out there and at least let you guys look at it and see kind of where I'm going. All right. Like I said, any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. I haven't put a whole lot of work into a lot of my other characters, as you guys can probably imagine. When you decide that you want to do this with one character, you're pretty much all in on that character. It's going to take some pretty significant time. It's going to take a lot of grind. My playtime, I want to say, is like 385 hours. So definitely a lot of time. Not really touching a lot of grass. It's snowing here quite a bit. Pretty cold where I live. So had some more time to play. But as always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know down in the comments. Hopefully this helps. Like I said, sorry I didn't show a whole lot of gameplay. I feel like most guys have seen enough Psyche gameplay that it's not really that big of a deal at this point. But if I left anything out, if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks.